Hello folks, I'm back for another Work in Progress Wednesday. Got a bunch of things on the table here, a bunch of different things. So one of my year-end goals was to get through 50 old miniatures. So anything that I had laying around for more than a year, I wanted to knock out 50 of them. Some of the oldest minis that I have are actually from the Descent board game, first edition. I think they're on third edition now. I haven't played this game in probably almost 10 years. So I have a number of these bats. So these bats are going to be used in Frostgrave. Pardon me, Rangers of Shadowdeep. I've been playing some Rangers of Shadowdeep in quarantine here with my family. Since we can't go out and play D&D. So they call for a bunch of giant bats in one of the scenarios that will be coming up eventually. So this is a kind of a two birds with one stone. I'm going to knock out 6, which actually at this point puts me over 50. I'll be doing a little review of my lead pile that I have knocked down since the beginning of November. These giant bats, they're pretty basic. Not a whole lot of detail like a lot of these soft plastic board games. Descent, I think, was one of the first ones to include loads and loads of these soft plastic minis, but I've had some luck painting them up, using them as D&D monsters. They do the job. I already have them, and if they get a little bent or damaged, it doesn't bother me too much. So 6 of these guys, all I need to do is do a quick wash and then a varnish. These guys are going to be done in the morning. For the same range as a Shadowdeep game, I am working on 2 different things. I have some civilian casualties here. So far I've just been using tipped over guys, but we'll have some 3D printed that I picked up off of Etsy. Casualties. They also came with a couple of prisoners, a couple of town guard casualties, but I wanted to get these civilian guys knocked out. These are just going to be real quick and basic paint jobs. A little wash, maybe a highlight on them real quick, and then that's going to be it. They're basically just markers, so they don't need a fantastic paint job. My 2 sons, on the other hand, do not have their own characters. So I have these 2 figures here. These are made from a mix of Oathmark humans, some Russian armored figures from Deuce's Vault, bits, of course, and pieces from the various Frostgrave and Oathmark kits. And then these guys are going to get painted up, and their bases will be marked so that we will know whose characters are running around. So one of the other things I've been working on is 6mm stuff, Battletech, and also some generic 6mm stuff. I'm not sure the system I'm going to use. So I picked up some of these 6mm buildings from a guy on Etsy. I don't recall the name. These guys, I think these buildings are a little bit small. The floors just don't seem to add up when based on the Battletech scale sizes, but they're cheap. I've already dropped a couple of these. These suckers are pretty sturdy. They take really quick paint jobs, really good. So I'm going to ignore the scale and keep using them. This is actually a Ground Zero Games resin cast that I picked up in the late 90s and has just been sitting around since then. It's a multi-part building. There's actually 4 sections on here. I had to glue these guys together and putty them up because I really messed them up when I was trying to belt sand them and get everything even. So some of this is a little correction work here. but this is a little more to scale. It might have a little something to do with the built-in base. That probably adds, you know, in 6mm scale, adds a significant amount to the miniature size. So I might base these, I might not. I'm probably honestly just going to ignore the scale difference. It's minor, and for the cost, I don't care. And then one of the last things that I've worked on, this has been sitting around for a while now, although not over a year. This is actually from Technologue's platformer, hexagon platformer series that used to be put out by Pegasus Hobbies and IMAX in the late 90s and early 2000s. I saw a lot of this stuff with Starship Troopers. So I've been building some of this up with the theme that these are all made from shipping containers, and then the colonists used the shipping containers to build shacks, and in this case a water tower. So this guy has been sitting base coated for a while. I finally got around to painting the metal structure, and so this is going to get a quick seal and then a wash tomorrow, and then a little base. It's a little heavy. A little top heavy, so I want to make sure it's not going to fall over. And that's what I have on the work table today. I have I actually have all of the rest of the year off, so I'm expecting to be cranking out a whole bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of Battletech stuff that I want to get painted up in a second mercenary faction. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be having some more videos up here at the end of the year as my free time gets filled.